going on.
Thank you so much.
Pay like $1 million.
Shout out TMZ, you up?
Let me check out that rig.
TMZ stands for the Mayweather Zone.
How'd you find me, bro? I got my disguise on.
I love my TMZ family. Smoochie.
Welcome to TMZ Sports. I'm Mike Babcock with my guy, as always, Mojo Muhtadi. Mojo, we're going to start with the NBA playoffs. Of course, round 2 of said NBA playoffs in full swing. I'll tell you what, Mojo, if people said throughout this year, and they did, that the NBA was boring, the game sucks, it's not like it used to be, they're not talking about what happened last night, because I'll tell you what, you had 2 teams in the New York Knicks and the Denver Nuggets who are, Eastern Conference and Western Conference, so on a different side of things here, Mojo, but are both heavy underdogs against their opponents in this second round series. Of course, for the Knicks, that is against the Celtics, and for the Nuggets against the Oklahoma City Thunder, who a lot of people believe is the best team in the NBA, period. Well, Knicks, Nuggets on the road last night, Mojo. It did not stop both of those teams from pulling off 2 tremendous upsets, both coming back late in what were absolutely thrilling games. Here's how both ended.
Brunson will make a move. On the fly, another tipped in by Towns. Towns tips it in. Karl Anthony Towns with 14 points. Mitchell Robinson will be on the ball. White will inbound. It's off to Brown. Bridges there. They hold it. They grapple. It's over. The Knicks have won. What a comeback and a Game 1 win for New York.
9.5 on the clock. Missed it. Door is open. Second one for Holmgren. It rims out. Brown grabs it. 7 seconds left. Westbrook, 5 seconds. They're down by 1. Gordon got it. Aaron Gordon with a deep shot. Williams, three-quarter court. No good. The Nuggets steal Game 1.
There was Mojo. Aaron Gordon, known more for his dunking than his three-point shooting, but he knocks down that big shot after Chet Holmgren misses 2 big free throws. You could see the pressure got to Chet in that moment. He short-armed both of those free throws, and he left the door open. And Aaron Gordon and the Nuggets walked right through it, again, behind a historic performance from Nikola Jokic. He is one of the top 10 players that has ever played in an NBA game, as far as I'm concerned, Mojo. He is that good. The more shocking game for me, because the Nuggets have won a championship, the more shocking game, Mojo, I think, is the New York Knicks. Now, the New York Knicks, they had a really nice season. They were third in the East, but they could not beat the top 2 teams, the Celtics and the Cavs, throughout the regular season. They were 0-8 versus both those teams. They were 0-4 against the Celtics, and they were down 20 points in this game, Mojo, and they fought all the way back. They had a chance to win it in regulation. They missed, and then in overtime, to beat the Celtics. Just a remarkable performance on the part of the New York Knicks last night. Look, I am not impartial. I'm a Knicks fan. I've been forever, but an absolutely incredible game for the New York Knicks. It was a huge win, Mojo, for them to see that they can beat this Boston Celtics team.
Of course, Babcock, you're a little biased here as a Knicks and a Giants fan, but it's the truth, Babcock. That was absolutely the best game. I mean, down 20 in the other team's house in Boston, and you come back and you pull out the dub. I mean, what a hole to dig out of. I mean, that is thrilling basketball right there. And you know me, I love defensive basketball, defensive play in any sport. Anytime you can end it on a defensive exclamation point, that resonates with me so much more. As opposed to a player missing 2 free throws back-to-back to more or less cost them the game. I would not prefer that game to end that way. But both sensational games. That's how we want to start Game 1 of this round of playoff basketball. All the underdogs getting the dub. I love where this thing is headed.
I could not agree more, Mojo. Now, obviously, we've said both of these games were on the road. So there was no game going down last night at Madison Square Garden. There was probably the glitziest party in the world throughout the entire year, Mojo, happening last night in that said city, in Manhattan. The Met Gala going down, 2025 Met Gala. This thing was as star-studded a party as you could ever want. Of course, there's Kylie Jenner. Now, Mojo, you know who wasn't there with his girlfriend, Kylie Jenner? Yeah, him right there, actor Timothée Chalamet. Now, in fairness, Timothy was not in Boston, but he was seemingly in a New York City hotel room, skipping out on the Met Gala, Mojo, to watch the game on a laptop by himself. I don't know why he doesn't have it on the TV. That's unclear. Bottom line, he skipped the party, Mojo, and he watched the basketball game. You know who did not skip the party? The guy who is synonymous with New York Knicks fandom, and it ain't me, Mojo. It's Spike Lee. Spike Lee is known as, and ask anybody this, everyone knows Spike Lee is a diehard Knicks fan. Well, he didn't watch, well, he might have watched the game, but he didn't watch the game at home last night, Mojo. He went to the Met Gala. Now, sure, he's got a New York Knicks hat on, but again, he went to the Met Gala. Here's what I'm going to tell you, Mojo. In my mind, Spike Lee has been supplanted as the top celebrity Knicks fan. It no longer, it belongs to him. It belongs to Timothée Chalamet, Mojo. He missed the party, the most exclusive party in the world.
I mean, I think that's just factually accurate, Babcock. I have to concur with your assessment. I mean, what kind of fan are you if you're going to skip a game? Granted, he didn't know that they were going to come back by 20 to win in an absolute thrilling fashion. But that's why you go to the games, Babcock. I mean, what is this? You cannot claim to be the guy if you're not at the game. Chalamet would have preferred to have actually seen him there. I mean, that would have upped his cred for that top celebrity spot to me. But the fact that he watched the game on the laptop, I don't know what's going on in that man's life, but he made sure he had time for this. Even if the TV reception was down and the cable was out, he had a way to watch this game. And I mean, look, it might be baller to be able to attend the Met Gala as a celebrity, but it's so much more baller if you skip it, especially to watch a sporting event.
The Ravens pull the plug on 7-time Pro Bowler Justin Tucker. Question is, was this performance-based, or does it have something to do with the sexual misconduct allegations against the star kicker? We'll explore next on TMZ Sports. Welcome back to TMZ Sports, Mike and Mojo. Mojo, the Baltimore Ravens have moved on from Justin Tucker. Now, anyone who is a football fan out there knows that Justin Tucker is quite literally as good as it gets at place kicker, Mojo. As a matter of fact, he might be the best kicker that's ever stepped foot on a football field. He's also coming off of the worst season of his NFL career by far, hands down, not even close, Mojo. And he's also under investigation by the National Football League after, as people probably remember, 16 masseuses, 16 massage therapists, Mojo, have come out and accused him of acting inappropriately over something like a 4-year period going back to 2012, Mojo, and the subsequent years after. Well, the Ravens say, despite the fact that the NFL has not yet handed down a punishment, and we don't even know if there will be a punishment. There might be, there might not be. They have not released their findings of the investigation. The Ravens have chose to move on. Now, they say it's football reasons, Mojo. They say this is not about what might have happened off of the football field. As a matter of fact, their general manager, Eric DeCosta, released a statement saying as much. Here it goes. Sometimes football decisions are incredibly difficult, and this is one of those instances. Considering our current roster, we have made the tough decision to release Justin Tucker. He then goes on to say, Mojo, we are grateful for Justin's many contributions while playing for the Ravens. We sincerely wish him and his family the very best in the next chapter of their lives. So, Mojo, they're clearly trying to say, hey, look, this is a roster issue. There's a salary cap. He had a bad year last year. This is not about what might have happened off of the football field. But I think a lot of people not buying that explanation.
No, I'm not buying it at all either, Babcock. I think if that was the move, you'd probably let him compete for the job throughout camp, right?
Right. Especially when a guy, again, we say is the best darn kicker that we've ever seen. You know, you'd think you'd give him the benefit of the doubt.
Exactly. And this is back home, Babcock. Tucker's been the guy there for a long time, especially for someone that grew up in the D.C. area, went to college at Maryland. I mean, he is a staple of that team, part of the foundation. And to release him after a subpar year was not his best year, but there are other kickers who have had far worse seasons than him and retained their jobs. Just to release him in the offseason like this, that just doesn't make sense, right? I mean, who knows if he was innocent in the end, I'm sure all of this would have been plaguing his mind and factor into everything he's been putting out on the field for quite some time now. So I think if that would have been the case, I think they would have at least given him the benefit of the doubt to compete for the job in camp and get back on track, at least two for a kicker. You get cut, somebody else will pick you up and plug you in. It's not like you have to memorize a playbook. So it's not like they're doing him a service by releasing him earlier to better assimilate into another team. I don't think that's it here. I think it obviously has to do with the pending investigation. Maybe, we always say this too, Babcock, maybe the team found something that they didn't like that's tipping the scales in favor away from Justin Tucker, and that's why they're making this move. But bottom line, he's out, and we all know the reason why.
Yeah, Mojo, you know, he is obviously getting older, too. I should be fair to Justin and say he has been adamant this entire time that he did nothing wrong. Seems that he's got support of his family, of his wife. She has said that she believes him fully. So, yeah, Mojo, it's going to be really interesting to see. He had been such a weapon for the Ravens, one of their most potent weapons. You always knew you had him there, and you could rely on him to make essentially any kick that could be possibly made by a kicker, right? He was that weapon for them, and he's not going to be that anymore. In a world where this investigation didn't exist, despite the bad season, Mojo, he absolutely 100% unequivocally gets picked up this year by a team. Teams lined up to pick up this guy. I am very interested to see what happens with the investigation still open, still pending. Is there a team out there that takes a shot at Justin Tucker? Stay tuned. Everyone's still talking about Shedeur Sanders' slide in the 2025 NFL Draft. Well, what should we expect from Coach Prime's kid in Cleveland? We'll ask Browns legend Eric Metcalf when TMZ Sports returns right after this. Welcome back to TMZ Sports. Mike and Mojo. Mojo, as the football world starts to move on from the draft shocker that was Shedeur Sanders, not going third overall, not going in the first round, not going to the Steelers at 21. Mojo, of course, we know he went in the 5th round with the 144th overall pick to the Cleveland Browns. Well, now he is a Cleveland Browns player, Mojo. He's in the land. He is gearing up. He's training. He's getting ready to play some football this summer with his teammates. And now the question is, what kind of weapon is he going to be for the Browns? Again, a lot of people think he's an incredibly talented player, but maybe there were some other things that they didn't like. Now he's part of the team. What do the Browns fans expect from Shedeur? That's the question, Mojo, that we posed to Eric Metcalf. That name sounds familiar to football fans. Of course, Eric Metcalf back in the day was you want to talk about potent weapons like Justin Tucker. I mean, Eric Metcalf was a heck of a weapon at wide receiver, but also a return specialist. I mean, this guy could break a long run and really change the game. So he knows what it takes to be an impact player in Cleveland. We recently ran into him. We asked him, hey, what can you expect from Shedeur?
All the scouts, all the teams said that he was accurate. He could throw the ball. He was anticipating throws. He could make all the throws. Everything you wanted from a quarterback. And then for him not to get drafted in the first, second, or third round was kind of slapping his face. And we all know what it was about, because I think a lot of people didn't want to deal with him, and they thought his bravado and he was too. I didn't want to say the word. I don't know how you are good in this sport if you aren't confident and cocky, right? If you don't go in there believing that you're the best, you can't be the best. And so he has a dad who was probably the best at his position ever to play the game, and so he instilled that in him. And so when he went on the field, he competed, he played good football, and now he's a Brown, and I hope that he does well with us. He can go in there and play football and not have to worry about anything but being the best that he can be on the football field. And that's what I'm happy about with this whole situation, that he'll get that opportunity to go out there and be carefree.
There it is, Babcock. I mean, this guy is going to have so many eyes on him for the start of the season. It is going to be absolutely insane. I mean, he's probably going to come in as maybe the most polarizing player in the entire league, coming in as a rookie, as if there's enough pressure on you to try and live up to what you did in college and carve your way out amongst grown men who have been established and doing this thing in the league, used to the speed and pace of the game at the highest level of the game. I mean, as if that wasn't enough stress right there. Now he has all of these external factors. It is going to be a lot on this young man, and the best thing he can do is just show up and ball out, not be a headache, don't complain, obviously not bringing his group and his outside influence into it. You just got to show up and do it. If you're asking me, Babcock, obviously there's been conversations about what number he's going to rock as well. Check out the TMZ Sports app to read more about that one. But hey, if you're asking me, Babcock, he should be rocking number 5 this season. Embrace this entire thing. It's open. No one's wearing it. It's not retired. Forget number 2, number 12, number 144. Hit that 5 and do your thing. Silence all the haters.
You know what's funny, Mojo? Obviously, Shedeur wore number 2 at Colorado. Well, number 2 was just taken by a journeyman wide receiver named DeAndre Carter, who, again, he is signed with the Browns as a free agent, and he picked number 2. It'll be really interesting to see if Shedeur Sanders, who might not have the huge NFL contract going in the 5th round, but had made a ton of money through endorsements, Mojo, and through NIL deals, it'll be very interesting to see if Mr. Sanders writes a check to DeAndre and whether or not he gets that number 2 jersey. But you're right, Mojo. I think I like the number 5. Embrace the 5th round selection. There's a lot less pressure on Shedeur than there would have been had he gone early in the draft. I'm rooting for the kid. We'll see how he plays. Well, speaking of the Met Gala, there were a ton of athletes at the big party in New York City last night. Question is, who looked the best? We're going to go through the photos. Mojo's going to give us his pick. That's next.
Want to listen to today's show? Now you can check us out on the go with the all-new TMZ Sports podcast wherever you get your podcasts. Be sure to subscribe and listen. Whereas always, tomorrow's show will be the best show since today!
Welcome back to TMZ Sports. Mike and Mojo. Mojo, we told you the Met Gala went down last night. Timothée Chalamet might not have been there. Spike Lee was. There were a bunch of other stars there as well. And boy, did these men and women look absolutely incredible last night. Let's go through some of the athletes, Mojo, who are at the big party. We'll do a little rate that fit, Mojo. I want to know what you have a great sense of style, Mojo. I want to know what you think is the best. Let's start with Ferrari's star Formula One driver, Lewis Hamilton. There's Lewis Hamilton, Mojo. I'm just going to burn through these pretty quickly here, like Lewis does on the racetrack. Stephon Diggs. There he is. There is Stephon Diggs, the great wide receiver. Mojo, Super Bowl champion, Jalen Hurts, and his new bride, Bree Burrows, Mojo. There they are, the beloved couple. Serena Williams, Mojo, was at the party last night. New New York Giant, Russell Wilson and his very talented wife, Sierra, in the building last night. Sha'Carri Richardson might have been the fastest person at the party, Mojo. Dwayne Wade and Gabrielle Union, always doing it big. D-Wade and Gabby. Mojo, Simone Biles and Jonathan Owens at the party last night. Speaking of Super Bowl champions, Saquon Barkley, fresh off a little little FaceTime with Donald Trump. He was at the Met Gala last night. And last but not least, she was flying solo, Mojo, because her man couldn't attend because he had that brutal collision with Dante DiVincenzo during the first round of the NBA playoffs. Savannah James in the building. Again, no LeBron James, who was supposed to be the honorary chair, but again, he had the knee injury, could not attend last night. We hope LeBron's okay, Mojo. But Savannah looking wonderful. They all looked great, Mojo, I thought. Who looked the best?
This was a tough one, Babcock. I got to say, usually I have an immediate answer for that. And
you can give multiple, Mojo. If you need to give more than one, I understand.
I'll tell you the one who fumbled this the most. That would be Jalen Hurts. He should have called Lewis Hamilton and rocked his suit. You know, putting off wedding vibes, newly married. I mean, the all-white would have been a powerful move. I mean, Stephon Diggs, a Maryland Terrapin. He's wearing some sort of animal. So I'm surprised he walked out with that intact. You know, I figured his shoes
Peter's going to be mad.
Exactly. I figured his shoes might match what his jacket blanket thing would look like after they were done with him on the outside. D Wade and Gabby Union, big Gabby Union fan over here. I mean, complimenting each other perfectly. I got to say it. I hate to do it. I think I got to go with Savannah James here for breaking out of the black and white color code. I mean, just a little bit of the loudest. I'm going to go with this, Babcock. That's my pick.
I like that too, Mojo. I think that's my answer. D Wade and Gabby Union always look fantastic. I think they are one of the most stylish celebrity couples out there. So it's sort of to be expected from them, Mojo. So I agree with you. I like the Savannah James outfit. I would not know how to describe that thing at all, Mojo, but she's looking great. So Savannah, no husband last night, no problem. She more than held her own. So she gets the win from the Mojo Muhtadi Fashion Awards, Mojo. So there we go. There we go. Big honor. We're out of time, Mojo. We got to go. We got a big show planned tomorrow. A bunch more NBA playoffs going down round 2. We'd be lucky if we can get games half as good as we had last night, Mojo. Tomorrow going to be a great show.
That's right, Babcock. It'll be the best show since today.
I'm a lawyer.